A few paragraphs from Chapter 6 of Revival Count Me In. The name of this chapter is Crossover. Almost there. In came the renegades. The crossover period was truly edgy. Tattooed and pierced, blue-jeaned and t-shirted, these new specimens of believers were on fire and in love with Jesus. They were rejected by many evangelicals. 1 Corinthians says not to dictate how a person lives out their trust in the Messiah, for in their trust they are standing firm. Anything that needs to be changed will be changed by Jesus. What is our happiness? It is standing firm in Jesus while living out our own trust in Him. And we help each other by encouraging each other in our sufferings with the encouragement we received when we went through sufferings. By relaying stories of how God brought us through our sufferings, we can forgive and comfort one another. Wearing blue jeans or not wearing them is not a spiritual thermometer. A great compromise transpired, which was not the original intent of this new breed of Christians. They were just being authentic. They were just being themselves. They were not deceitfully dressing a certain way to lure the world into their churches or to relate to people. But this seemed to be what was progressing. Eventually, the user-friendly church emerged, but this made way for overcrowded rooms, offering computer tables and more coffee and donuts while watching the preaching on the giant TV screens. The gospel is very good news, but not necessarily user-friendly. To those that are perishing, it is the smell of death. Apostle Paul cheers it this way: "But thanks be to God, who in the Messiah constantly leads us in a triumphal procession, and through us spreads everywhere the fragrance of what it means to know Him." For to God we are the aroma of the Messiah, both among those being saved and among those being lost. To the latter, we are the smell of death, leading only to more death. But to the former, we are the sweet smell of life, leading to more life. That's 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verses 14 through 16. Well, what does being lost mean in this passage? Well, being lost means a person does not realize he is lost without the sweet aroma of Jesus. And when this realization occurs in present tense real time, it makes him stink of death because they are dead. Well, how can you be being saved or being lost? Well, it is when the sweet aroma is inhaled, it causes one to arrive to the place of decision. Being lost is good because it leads to getting saved. And being saved is good because it means once lost. How does death lead to more death and life lead to more life? Well, the former, those who were lost to begin with, became alive in Jesus when they got saved. You see, life will beget more life. Life is now for the lost who got saved and is followed by eternal life. On the other hand, death spreads itself like decay. It befriends death. It stays dead, likes to be around dead people, and ultimately dies forever in eternal separation from God. The breaches and divisions are actually a good thing. It forces us to know one another by the Spirit. We also know each other by our fruit and by our scent. Now, some fruit takes time to grow, and remember, even weeds bloom flowers.